folks, Tim Votapka here with Roger Cartee, and we are at Salem Lakes today, and we are enjoying the fact that the water is receding after a deluge hit us earlier this week. Another flood on an anniversary of the last flood we had in 2023. Could certainly do without that, and I certainly hope, as you do, that this is not becoming an annual tradition around here. But we're not here to talk about floods or high water or anything else like that. We are here to talk about Roger Cartee and put him in the limelight, which I know you love to be in. And he will actually, we're doing this as a special episode of Around Salem, by the way, because Roger unfortunately has another commitment that involves his grandson's playoff game, which is down in North Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. As it turns out, when we're having our annual meeting. So with that, I'm going to give Roger an opportunity to chat about his thoughts about his membership, his time at the helm of our association as president, and this is all leading up to what you all may have already heard, and that he has decided to step down from his role as president of the association. So boo for that, but glad to have him here with me today. So Roger, how long has it been since you took the helm of this?
Well, it's back in the 90s, at least. I can remember meeting with Dave Wood at the first board meeting I went to on his porch, and there were like 5 of us there. It was just a time when you had a difficulty getting people to be members on the board and to be at meetings in particular. So there were just 5 of us, Dave and his wife, and 2 others and myself, and had a good time. It was an introduction to the lake, and as far as from the administrative point with Dave, because Dave was also the principal at Lake Region Union High School, and I was a teacher from North Country that was traveling to Lake Region down there, so I'd already been working with Dave for about 11 years. So it was an opportunity to get involved a little bit more on the lake, and I've enjoyed it since then. Dave was a good president, one of the most dedicated people you could find on the lake, and I was very happy to be there helping him.
Yeah. When was the association formed?
85, 86.
Okay. So you're the second in line, and well, hopefully be a long generation list of people.
Well, there was somebody else I think before Dave. So there were at least a couple presidents before me, and with Andy just before me. Of course, they had in the bylaws then that if the president stepped down, the vice president had to become the president. So they didn't give you much choice.
You had a choice, and the choice was yes.
Yeah, that's true. Well, at that point in time, they'd already had you. You know, they got you.
Right. So after this time, what are some of your favorite memories of not just the lake? That's a whole gallery of memories. But in your time as the president, what are some of the milestones that you have seen us reach over these last years?
Oh goodness, I think of when the board members or just members go out and do testing on the lake and with a session dish and samples. I can remember going out with Dave in his boat, and Dave would go to a spot in the lake and he says, "Okay, Roger, we need to line up the camp with a red roof on this side, with a camp with a blue roof on that side, and that's where we take our sample." And everywhere we went around the lake, he had some idiosyncrasy on how we connected with the location. And so that was kind of interesting, and I see the way they do it now. It's a whole lot different. You get GPS monitors on checking out where you go and where you don't go, and so it made a big difference. But it was a lot of fun back then. We had a great time when we went out on the lake. Got a chance to talk and reminisce and so on, and do the business of the association. So those are some of the fun things. And I remember when I first started working on the parade float, we just had a little flatbed trailer, and we had boards sticking up in each corner, and we painted them blue and wrapped tinsel around them and put some flags on it, and that was the parade float. And now we've gone to where we're using the pontoon boat. So things have really changed a lot. Going to breakfast with Andy and Dennis Bond at the Brown Cow to discuss the lake and so on, and just to socialize. Great times. We went up to a little restaurant in Derby Line that Rachel and Madeline Roy had, and we've every once in a while we'd get together and go out and socialize and visit and talk about the lake, and
Right.
those are good times. Those are good times.
You know, thinking about landmarks and triangulation, I got one up on you because having grown up here since the 60s in my summers, we would do the same thing for fishing spots. And we used the Pink Cabin or Balthazar's Cabin or Dr. Greenwood's, the Boathouse, and these were our landmarks, you understand. And over time, the landmarks would either crumble and fall down or disappear, or through turnover of ownership, become something else. So we, my cousins and I, and the aunts and uncles, would always refer and continue to refer to the Red and White store, or to the old barn by the Route 111 turnover there, or the Pink Camp, which hasn't been in existence in years, 20, 30, 40 years. And my wife comes along, and as we get married, and we're referring to these places which don't even exist structurally anymore. And she was getting annoyed with us because we kept referring to landmarks as direction points, and she had no idea what we were talking about. So that today still is an argument in our family, as is the lake front, or is it the camp in the back, and that is an unresolvable debate.
We argue about that all the time.
So you're stepping down.
Yeah, it's time. I'm 81, and it's time for a younger person with a little more energy to get involved and take over. And I've been there 30, 35, 40 years, and it gets stale after a while. And I just think I just thought, like a great ball player steps out while they're on top. I don't figure I'm on top. I figure I've just had a good run, and it's time for me to step aside and let somebody else take over. I've been truly blessed with great people on the board during my time. You folks are really, really lucky to have these people working for you and helping protect the lake, preserve the lake for generations to come. I know when we did the 501c3 and we redid the bylaws, and we talked about needing to reword the title, and they talked about protecting the lake or whatever, and the recommendation was, people are always going to be here to protect the lake, but you need to preserve it for those people and those generations to come. And so that's how Salem Lakes Preservation Association came about, and just a slight change, but it sent the message out to everybody around that our goal is to preserve this lake for future generations. The young kids that we see out in the water now that are 5 years old, 10 years old, that'll be coming back here later on as camp owners when they're 30, 40, 50, whatever. So I've been really blessed. Great board. I can't remember too many board meetings where we didn't have almost a full board in attendance every single time. These are people that take the job seriously, and they're there, and they made it easy for me. My philosophy as president was to surround myself with good people. And, I've got you and TJ and Ross on the milfoil committee. That's probably the smartest move I ever made, because you guys have been incredible helping preserve the lake with getting it protected from milfoil. So I think of that, and I think of all the people that, all the functions that they have on the board, all the things they've done, and it's just been fantastic. And I have to mention probably the two people that I think are probably the most important people on the board, and that's the secretary, Sharon Kelly, and my wife Janet, who's the treasurer. Those two people have kept our records, have kept our money, have kept things organized and safe. Couldn't have been done without them. They've just done a tremendous job for this association, keeping the books in order and keeping the records in order and keeping me in order, because I can tell you, there are those times I'll say, oh, don't forget this, what about that? They've kept me informed and kept me aware and kept me on a straight path. if I forgot something, they were there to pick up the slack. So they've been fantastic. And I just, Ed Wells taking care of the monitors and things of that nature that, need to be done. Sharon helping with the grants that we have and the money that we have. It's just been a wonderful time. They've made it easy for me. A lot of people say, "What do you do?" And I say, "Well, I just have good people to do the work," and we've been very fortunate. So, you folks should have at some point in time today, make sure you have a standing ovation for your board because they deserve every bit of it.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. As a board member myself, it's nice to hear that acknowledgement and know that it's not just about, the project at hand, that we all have that bigger picture in mind because the ecology of the lake doesn't change overnight, but it's very fragile. So what we do overnight does have a longer game plan.
Yeah,
Decisions and research and the things that we've done to get to that milfoil treatment that we did last summer. And when it's not going to stop there, there's other projects that need to be done to shore up things around here.
Right, and I think that, and with you saying that, it brings to mind something that I really need to mention because I think one of the huge growth things that have happened with the association in the lake is getting into the social media mode, and I think the job that you have done getting us out into the public eye, the Facebook pages, all of the information you put out, getting in contact with people, letting them know what's happening, getting them information from the state and the association, that has really moved us forward and has been a huge plus for the success of the association. So I needed to thank you many, many, many times over for the work you've done with videos and the fundraising projects and different things that people wouldn't find out about unless they went to the annual meeting and somebody told them. So huge kudos to you for doing that and for the work you continue to do with social media for us, because that's been a godsend to us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I knew we needed to do it. That's the communication line we have. And not everybody can be here as often as they'd like or as often as their schedules allow. And even renters and vacationers who come here ask me questions. Right next door are renters, and they've never been here before. And you get the questions, where's there a good place to eat? Where are the best restaurants? That sort of thing. That's fine. But they start asking about the history of the place, and they set me loose, and they get a lot more information, including landmarks that don't exist.
Yeah.
So it's home. We got to take care of it. If we don't, who will?
Yeah, that's true. And I've seen the Lake Association grow and improve and get better. More people participating, more people active, and what great neighbors. You talk about neighbors. I think that one of the best things for Jan and I being on the lake, we've been on the lake, I've been on the lake with her about 45 years, and she was here with her sister back in the 50s, late 50s, 60s, and so they've, the contact with people around the lake has gotten better. We know more people around the lake. Having a secretary and treasurer, of course, they're in communication with all these people. So it's been a blessing to have these people as neighbors and as friends. People will call up if you need help or checking on you. This recent flood,
lost and found.
Oh yeah, I've had 2 or 3 people call up. Roger, do you need help? You guys okay? Is there anything we can do? And Jan and I are truly blessed, and it's been wonderful for the two of us to be on the lake.
Yeah. Now here's a really tough question, and this is not scripted, so forgive me, but this could get us into some trouble. If you're not at the annual meeting, who's bringing the donuts?
Oh, it's all taken care of. That was covered. I knew that I would be in trouble if they weren't there, so you will have the donuts and muffins and the coffee and the orange juice. It'll be ready to go. Nobody will go hungry.
Because once you have a job and you do it well, it's hard to give that up.
Yeah, I hear about the donuts and muffins a lot. So and of course, because I'm one that believes that it's better to have more donuts and muffins than you think you're going to need, just in case somebody might go hungry.
Yes. Although Janet might disagree with the quantity that you think with.
No doubt about that. No doubt about it.
Well, is there anything else come to your mind that you want to communicate before we sign out or wrap it up? No rush.
Well, I guess the big thing for me is I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just,
This is not an in memoriam.
I'm still going to be there at the coin drops and at the parades and helping decorate and do things like that. And if the association needs something on the lake, we're still going to be here. We're not going anywhere. This is our favorite place. Jan loves being up here. I know it's her favorite place. Her porch is the favorite location.
Yeah.
We have a good time sitting out there. She drinking the coffee, playing the cards, and whatever. It's just we love being here. So we're not going to go anywhere. You're not quite rid of us. So we're going to be around.
That's good news. That's very good news. Well, folks, there it is. Our president for the next week or so, or until we move on to something.
Till the new board selects new officers.
Right.
And, so I would just like to, close by saying I just want to thank everybody for their friendship, for their help, for their neighborliness over the 45 years that I've been on the lake with Jan when we first got our camp many, many years ago. It's been wonderful. It's been a great experience. Our two boys grew up on the lake. They love coming back to the lake, and we love having them here. So this has been a home for us. It really has been a home for us. Even though we lived 8 miles away, this was the place we wanted to be. So Thank you for being good friends and good neighbors.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on everything you've done, and I will dub in the thunderous applause when we're done editing this, because I know that everyone, not in this recording as we're doing this, but everyone who is wiping their eyes as they're watching this at our annual meeting will stand up and applaud, right, folks? So you deserve every bit of that energy back to you.
Thank you, Tim.
Well done.
Thank you.
And that's it. Talk to y'all soon.